technology. How are you? Can you hear me? Seems like it works. David McLeod's here, so I should go like this. Tap the mic. I don't know how much David loves guys tapping the mic. Let me see that. Hi everybody, my name's Scott. I write the books on your table. We've done 2 of them, we got another one coming. And a number of the people that are in this room tonight will be in the next book, so it's pretty exciting for everybody. It should be ready by Christmas. I will be your host tonight, and please be forewarned. Despite what Ida Sutherland thinks, I am not a comedian. I am a traffic cop. My job tonight is very, very simple. It's to get everybody here home by their bedtime. And so people like Peter Young won't miss the end of the hockey game.
Oh, it's not now?
I'm not going to waste your time with jokes or silliness or even an attempt to sing. In the immortal words of former TV comic Ruth Buzzy, people laughed when I told them I was going to be a comedian, but they aren't laughing now. I look at those words and accept them literally, not metaphorically. I am not funny. So my approach tonight will be simple. These types of ceremonies should be like the perfect wedding. Dignified, joyful, and short. So let's get rolling. I would like to start things off tonight, call on Elder Patrick Gruyere from Sandton First Nation to give us the opening prayer for the evening. Elder Gruyere, could you come forward?
So, bear with me. I want to thank the organizers for asking for me to come up front and say the prayer. I'm very grateful that they thought of us as an elder that I can do it properly. So I will, oh, by the way, can I make listening us Makut Day? I will do the prayer in our language first, and hopefully, if I'm able to, I'll do it over again in English. Miigos kinin zemade do. Ebi skitoang ma te mamo biang te be we talk mangito ka we te zemada ka we Mine dag är jo, kan vi vinna kan vi se mig av ett matesiat. Skulle ju jag vinna kan vi se att jag mak. Det när så komma. Och sen men vi ska mig se han va. Koi ne. Kan jag. Chanigiet. I want to say thank you to the Creator for allowing us to congregate here together and celebrate and eat with the inductees and the people that are being honored tonight. It's quite an accomplishment. I'm sure, you know, they have members of their family along with them here as well. With that, I'll say, be good. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder Gruyere. This is our 3rd induction ceremony for the Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame and Museum. As you can see by the banners around the room and outside, there have been some very important inductees, very qualified and remarkable people that have done this before. And I want to welcome everybody tonight because it is a big night for the inductees, and it's a big night for our major award recipients. So we will be giving out our major awards as well for the Manitoba Aboriginal Sports and Recreation Council, and I'm just so glad that everybody came here tonight. I would like to call on the Manitoba Métis Federation Minister of Youth and Sport, Richard Janai. Is Richard here? I don't see him. He hasn't made it yet? No, Richard? In that case, we will say thank you to the Manitoba Métis Federation who have done so much for the MASRC, and call on Southern Chiefs Organization Grand Chief Jerry Daniels. Is Jerry Daniels with us tonight? If he is not, then this will be quicker than I ever expected it to be. Thank you, Chief Daniels, for everything that you do for the MASRC as well. And the next on my list, and I have a list here, a long list, is a representative of the province tonight, the MLA from Sen River, Billy Cross. Billy Cross? Thank you.
Just going to bend this, I'm really short. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of the Premier of Manitoba. No, he's not changing a tire or delivering a baby. On behalf of the Manitoba government, I want to begin by honoring the sacredness and importance of this land and of the ancestors that once walked where we're standing today. The Anishinaabe, the Innuwak, the Dene, the Dakota, the Métis, the Inuit and Anishinaabe nations have all paved the way to what is now known as Manitoba, home to all treaty people. The reason we share this information with you all is that it is a reminder of our treaty histories and relationships, and the original homelands of these nations, which have become home to everyone here today. I'm honored to join you this evening as we celebrate the 3rd annual Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame induction and awards ceremony. Tonight we gather to celebrate an exceptional group of sports heroes and role models. These athletes, coaches, officials, volunteers, and builders have made lasting contributions to sport in Manitoba. Our province has a rich history of Indigenous excellence in sports. The Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame plays an essential role in commemorating the many First Nation, Inuit, and Métis athletes who have contributed to this legacy. By sharing the stories of sports legends past and present, the Hall of Fame not only inspires future sports leaders, but strengthens our shared commitment to reconciliation. All of tonight's inductees and award winners, along with their family, friends, and supporters, should be incredibly proud of their accomplishments and their journey to this moment. Their hard work, perseverance, and passion has made an impact in their sport community that will be felt long into the future. The Manitoba government is proud to support the Manitoba Aboriginal Sport and Recreation Council as we work together to ensure all Manitobans know they have the right to play and to pursue their goals and dreams in sports. I would like to thank the MASRC staff and board for organizing this incredible event and for your continued leadership in advancing and celebrating Indigenous excellence in sport. I'd also like to thank the pavilion at Assiniboine Park for providing this beautiful space for us all to gather. Once again, my congratulations to all of this year's inductees and award winners. I join Manitobans in celebrating you and wishing you well for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, MLA Cross. It's the best time of the night now. It's dinner time. As you can tell, the rest of it really doesn't matter. That's not true. This is a big night for everybody, but let's eat. You know why you're here tonight, whether or not you're here to win a major award from the MASRC or whether you're being inducted into the Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame and Museum. Regardless of your honor tonight, congratulations. You are very special to all of us. The Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame and Museum supports the work done by so many to honor Indigenous excellence nationwide. For the MASRC, the Hall of Fame was a needed response to our original book, The History of Excellence, The Untold Stories of Manitoba's Indigenous Sport. If you haven't read Recommendation 87 of the Truth and Reconciliation Reports recommendations, please do. That's why that book exists. And the Summer Excellence book we just completed, plus the third book in the series, which will be out for Christmas. A committee of the province's most highly regarded sports representatives came together after the publication of the book and started to select inductees into the MASRC Sports Hall of Fame. And it began in 2022. You are the third class. And last year, for the first time, we joined together with our major award winners and honored them on the same evening. And I think that that is certainly appropriate of the importance of tonight. We are celebrating some of the greatest athletes in Manitoba's history, not just Indigenous athletes, but athletes right across the rainbow. These are the best of the best, and we are thrilled that many of them have been able to join us tonight. I am going to start with, it's never last but not least, is it? Ever. It's just, you have to start someplace. So let's start with the major award winners this time. Let's do that first and hand out some trophies, because that's always fun. Every year the MASRC recognizes 2 individuals in each category: Indigenous Athlete, Coach, and Volunteer of the Year for their excellence and dedication in their respective sports. And I would like to start with our first Indigenous Athlete of the Year in cheerleading, Zoe Batkus. A citizen of the Red River Métis Nation, Zoe is a championship-winning cheerleader, competing both internationally and locally, cheering with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Ladies and gentlemen, our female Athlete of the Year, Zoe Batkus. This is not Zoe. Good looking anyway. Congratulations. Okay. Get those in the corner. She's pretty good. Where is she? Yeah. The last person you want to picture is me. Here's the wall. Okay. Oh, sure. Yes, Jamie's perfect for this. Unlike me, David McLeod once told me that I did have a great face for radio. Our male Indigenous Athlete of the Year is Cody Gunderson, another citizen of the Red River Métis Nation. This past summer, Cody assisted the 19U male baseball team in going undefeated, and earning a gold medal at the 2023 North American Indigenous Games in Halifax. Cody was also named as Rookie, Top Defender, Batting Champion of the Year at the Manitoba Junior Baseball League Awards. Your Male Athlete of the Year, Cody Gunderson. Our male Indigenous Coach of the Year is Dean Govero from Fisher River Cree Nation. Dean was assistant coach of the 16U male softball team, coaching them to a gold medal at the 2023 North American Indigenous Games in Halifax. Dean is heavily involved with coaching, volunteering his time with multiple teams in Fisher River from U11 to U17. Our Coach of the Year, Dean Govero. Our female Indigenous Coach of the Year is Jessica Chow. A citizen of the Red River Métis Nation, Jessica is involved with multiple soccer programs, coaching with the University of Regina Cougars soccer development programs, the Bonnie Vital Soccer Club, and most recently is one of the MASRC's Aboriginal apprentice coaches at the 2023 North American Indigenous Games. Our female Coach of the Year, Jessica Chow. Congratulations, Jessica. Our male Indigenous Volunteer of the Year is Benjamin Oman. A member of York Factory Cree Nation, Benjamin is involved with many different sports and teams in Churchill, such as the youth hockey teams, and he organizes countless baseball and volleyball games for his community. Volunteer of the Year, Benjamin Oman. Now comes my test for the evening. My new good friend, Christina Keeper, who has been an assistant coach in hockey for the longest time, is our female volunteer of the year. A member of Mississauga Cree Nation, was I right? Not bad. Christina has volunteered with Team Manitoba's NAHA team for many years as a coach, an athletic therapist, a trainer. She recently attended the 2023 North American Indigenous Games as a trainer with the soccer teams. She continues to work with youth and Indigenous communities, providing physical therapy. She will be in book number 3 when we get it published for Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, our female volunteer of the year, Tina Keeper. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the finest athletes, volunteers, and coaches of 2023, our major award recipients from the MASRC. Let's give them one last round of applause. And now it thrills me to announce the announcements that have already been announced. You all know who the inductees are, if you paid any attention to the banners in front, but now we get an opportunity to meet them. And this is the part of the evening that always excites me. It's our 3rd time doing this, and it's better every year. Our first inductee to the Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame and Museum this year is Terry Fox. Born in Winnipeg, a citizen of the Red River Métis Nation, and a cancer research advocate who at 18 lost his right leg to cancer. In 1980, Fox began training for the Marathon of Hope and ran 5,375 kilometers in 143 days to raise money for cancer research. In 1981, Terry Fox passed, but not before raising $24.17 million for cancer research. That same year, the Terry Fox Run debuted in more than 750 locations, cementing Fox's legacy as a humanitarian and advocate for cancer awareness and research. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee tonight, the great, the legendary Terry Fox. His family is now in Vancouver, so MLA Cross will accept the award in Terry's behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Fox. Our second inductee tonight is an old pal of mine. It's been a while. As a matter of fact, it was 28 years, maybe 26 years, since the last time we spoke, and we spoke about a month and a half ago in what turned out to be a 54-minute interview. And it was great to hear the old stories once again. Carrie Buckberger, a member of the Red River Métis Nation, is a volleyball athlete who was born in Russell, Manitoba. She represented Canada at the 1996 Summer Olympics. From 1988 to 1991, Buckberger played for the University of Regina women's volleyball team, where she was named a Great Plains Athletic Conference All-Star on 2 occasions. Buckberger played for the Canadian National Women's Volleyball team for 8 seasons, competing in 2 Pan American Games and a World Cup. She also played 5 years of professional volleyball in Holland, Belgium, and France, and was inducted into the Saskatchewan Volleyball Hall of Fame in 2018. She still plays, although she whines about her knees. Ladies and gentlemen, Carrie Buckberger. Go do that. Do the photo first, and then you can take all the time you need. Well, if necessary. Because I was here.
Thank you, Scott, and I promise it won't be 54-minute talk today. Thank you, everyone. It's an honor to be up here to be inducted with the names I see around the room, past and present. And also a big thank you to the Manitoba Aboriginal Sport Council for this honor. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents in Mississippi Valley. And I had an opportunity to talk to an elder about a few months ago. And he was talking to me about my childhood, and I had said to him, I don't really know if I have a lot of the Indigenous background in me. And so he started asking me questions. So my grandfather was a fur trapper by trade. I used to go with him and check his traps, catch fish, fry it right on the Symons River on the banks. My grandmother made fresh bannock every time we came over. She took us out. We planted herbs that would help with medicine. We would pick berries. We would do everything homemade. And he kind of looked at me and went, I'm not sure that you understand. And the reason being, it was never really talked about. It wasn't that we were trying to hide the fact that we were Métis, it was just never really discussed. And so one of the things that I noticed this past summer, I was lucky enough to be one of the coaches that went down to the North American Indigenous Games. And watching our youth, and watching the pride they have of embracing their culture and talking to each other, I think our future is incredibly bright as an Indigenous community in Canada. They say it takes a village, and in my case it truly did. Coming from a small town, my parents really didn't have a lot of money. And when it became apparent that I potentially had the chance to play volleyball, my mom went around to a lot of communities and asked for support, knowing because without it, she wasn't going to be able to get me to the city to practice. That village for me continues today, as I have daughters up here who I met when I was 24 here in Winnipeg, and then have continued to watch over my daughter here now as she plays volleyball at the University of Winnipeg. My heart is completely full.
Ida and I go way back. Ida Clemens, Ida Sutherland, played for the Lord Selkirk Regional Comprehensive Secondary School Royals, one of the most successful high school volleyball teams in Manitoba's history. A member of Peguis First Nation, Sutherland rostered for the Lord Selkirk team between 1976 and 78, and in her final season of play, she led the team to a 58-0 record. In 1979, Sutherland was offered a scholarship to play volleyball at the University of Texas, El Paso, an NCAA Division I school. In her rookie year, UTEP made an appearance at the NCAA tournament, and by her third year, she was named captain. One of the finest volleyball players in our province's history, Ida Clemens Sutherland. I've probably known this guy for 40 years, back to the Cash League maybe, and that was a long time ago. He was born in Winnipeg, and a lot of people know who he is. A member of the Red River Métis Nation, I better say citizen, correct myself. He played with the Winnipeg Grasshoppers and represented Manitoba at 8 national ball hockey championships. Brought home gold in 1989. He also played ice hockey in Germany for 16 seasons and was eventually called the Gretzky of Germany. Had a tryout with the Winnipeg Jets. John Ferguson said, "You're too small and too soft," so he went to Germany and became the country's greatest player. He was also a manager, coach, earned 312 wins in 452 games. His jersey was eventually retired by the ETC Timmendorf Ice Bars, the Ice Bears, and he is the co-founder of Stop Concussions, a platform dedicated to concussion awareness and education, and the organizer of the Australian Ice Hockey Classic, an initiative to support ice hockey around the world. He is also today the head coach of the Melbourne Ice of the Australian Professional Hockey League, and he flew all the way from Melbourne here tonight just to say hi to me. No, that's not true, I made that up. Our fourth inductee into the Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame and Museum is a man whose family has a park named after them in Winnipeg, Kerry Goulet.
you very much. I had the opportunity to fly here, as Scott mentioned. I'm the head coach of a hockey team in Melbourne, Australia. They call it ice hockey, just to differentiate between field hockey and hockey on ice. My management and ownership gave me the permission to come and spend this special evening, not only with my family and friends, but also with these wonderful athletes that have also received this incredible award. I'd like to thank the selection committee for honoring me with this incredible award. I'd like to obviously thank Scott Taylor for nominating me, the organizing committee. I want to congratulate all the other inductees and the award winners. My brother Lawrence drove in from Saskatoon, my very good friend Peter Young, and of course my beautiful wife Tony Meal. I have not found a mic I didn't like, but tonight I'm a little nervous, to be honest. When I was on the flight coming home yesterday, I didn't have a speech, and I wanted to make sure that I left you all understanding how important this is to me and my family. I stand here before you today because of my Métis heritage, and I feel somewhat embarrassed by the fact I never quite understood what it meant to be Métis in my younger years. From my early days, I recall my mother, who was an accomplished speed skater, taking me out to a park called St. Vital, and they had this figure-8 pond that was frozen in the days of January, probably -30, and I was on the back. Oh, she had a scarf around her hips, and she was skating, and I was on my tube skates, and I can remember icicles coming from my eyes from the tears of joy. This is where I fell in love with the game. This is where my past would become my future. When I left Winnipeg in the late 80s to play professional hockey in Germany, I never took the time to discover my true lineage. It was my Uncle George Goulet, who just recently educated me about my ancestors and our involvement in the Métis community. My Uncle George and his beautiful wife, Terry, both Métis elders, are best-selling Métis authors who have written books about the history of Blue Riel and the Métis. Their son, John, helped me truly comprehend what it meant to be fourth-generation Métis. From hearing the stories about my great-great-great-grandfathers to great-great-uncles and aunts, I only then realized my pride of being Métis. As the Scottish and the Irish and the British celebrate their bloodlines, so should I. By accepting this award tonight, it has not only opened my eyes to the responsibility and the Métis heritage that I bestow, but also the responsibility to the Métis community. I am blessed that my ancestors paved the way for my skates to become the passport to the world. That is why, with the help of my beautiful wife, Tony, we have created the Tour of Hope, which takes young Indigenous and Métis hockey players on a cultural experience and journey all throughout Australia. This year, the tour will also include New Zealand and will open the doors for these young boys and girls to experience the world and help them understand through sport and education, anything is possible. Only now I truly understand what my father said to both my brother and myself. You cannot know your future if you do not fully understand your past. I accept this great honor for my entire family because of what they gave up and sacrificed. There were 5 very key people. My grandfather, Wilfred, who was part of the residential school. My Uncle George, who continues on working and educating us on the Métis. My dad, Albert, and my mother, Shirley May Rose. And of course, my wife. I love you all for what you sacrificed in your lives to allow me and my skates to become that passport and being able to do what I do. I thank you for giving me this honor. I thank you, Scott, for nominating me. I'm truly blessed. I thank you. Carrie
Now, a gentleman that I first interviewed last year and learned a lot. I have to tell you, I learned a lot. I have tried very, very hard to get this correct, and I hope I do. A member of Minigozebe Anishinaabe Pine Creek First Nation. I'm good with the Pine Creek. I'm not good with the Anishinaabe. He's coached football, track, soccer, hockey, assistant coach with the Swan Valley Tigers, coached the Eastside Eagles football team, won a number of championships there. He also served as a coach for the North American Indigenous Games. He has frequented coaching seminars at the University of North Dakota, at Bemidji State. He traveled to England to learn soccer and middle distance running, speed skating in Amsterdam, and nutrition in Germany. Norbert Ross has committed his life to empowering Indigenous youth, and I am very proud to announce the Hall of Fame inductee, Norbert Ross.
My name is Norbert Ross. I'm originally from Cross Lake, but I got snared and married a girl from County Christmas. If anybody ever tells you, I spent 13 years of my life in the residential school, both in Cross Lake and citywide residential school. I'm not crazy, like everybody's saying, I'm okay. You ever read the book called I'm Okay? That's it. Anyway, the point is here, most of the time is, I've been coaching since I was 15 years old in a residential school. There was 50 10-year-old kids. And they had nothing, they couldn't help them out because most of us were senior players and we got to play. So finally one of the guys said, let's organize a league for the new guys. And we did. And a sad thing about it, 3-4 years after, one of the guys I was coaching replaced me on a football team at right guard. I kind of concluded my, anyways, it's something that really happened. And one of the things and that kind of set me on a course. Because the people I want to thank, one of them is my uncle, Jeremiah Chuck Ross. He loved his nephews and happened to be one of them. And he organized sports, winter sports, summer sports, any sport that he could fund, because he was a railroad track man. He spent his money to buy equipment for us. I'll never forget him, because he made a lot of little guys, the southern part of Cross Lake is called Natili. He was the circle of life when it comes to athletic development. And I don't think anybody ever thanked him. But as an uncle, I used to have lunch with him just to say thank you. And there were so many people I wanted to thank. Two of them, one of them is Symons. She was head coach for the province. She died in a car accident going down to the States. And Reynolds is another one that helped me. And then the other guys, my principal is guys I go coach with Indigenous teams, and some of the people that made me #1 coach in a few places I won't name, but anyway, one of them is Swan River. I won 12 football championships. I couldn't find it right away. I didn't know which walk. And the guy says, Robert, would you like to help us go to Mountain to World Junior Championship? Be our coach. I couldn't get it right away. I thought somebody was, planning a trick on me. Until I sat on an airplane. I was flying that way. Lost 2 hours. I had a hard time adjusting to that. And they filled me up with blueberry water. And blueberry beer. I didn't know for a while who I was. One good thing too is the blueberry is high oxidants. It's good nutrition. As my grandmother told me a few years ago, it's the best nutrition he has to eat blueberries, but he never listened to blueberry wine. And some of the people that I work with are so dear to me. And some of them, one of them is Jim Gill from the University of Manitoba. He was my friend. We used to drink coffee somewhere on Broadway Boulevard for 3 hours. I don't know how many calories of coffee we drank between the 4 of us. Jim and 2 other guys who don't want to be named. And there's nothing wrong with them. They're okay. Except they don't like to be in a spotlight. So I don't like being in a spotlight. It's okay. So is that beer I gave last week. I put him on the spotlight. I hate him already, so don't worry about it. The thing I wanted to say too is that not only am I taking people, the people who make my life the way it is. I could have been in Cross Lake now, probably having a beer or most milk with some of my best friends. But the people that help me along, pick me up, encourage me, those are the people that are dear to me, very dear. Besides my wife, of course, and her family. I became an artist when I was 10 years old. So I didn't have the parental kindness that we had. But my mom had a wicked right. She used to hit me right there, but I didn't behave myself. See, there's no muscle in your skin. It's just bone. She used to hit me with the head. I know I have to behave myself. Every time they hit me like that. But anyway, it's just that with sincerity, I thank you for selecting me. And the only thing is that you guys keep putting my picture up there. I'm getting older here and older here and older here. I kind of feel insulted on that. Anyway, just to make you guys laugh. You remember me for making me laugh and I make you laugh. Anyway, thanks. I cannot say thank you enough to meet a lot of people who made me today. And one of the things I always remember is that I slipped up my hand. I went to university. And I looked around. And I was like this. You're not supposed to tell somebody about that. I know you're smart, but I don't want you to brag about it. Anyway, some of the things that happened to me at the University of Brandon and a few major universities. But there's one thing for you guys. Do you ever have a son who wants to explore himself as an athletic development? I went to England to study what Scott said. I went to France to learn practice to tennis, ice skating in Netherlands, nutrition in Germany, and I missed a little country there. I pushed the wrong button on the tree. I went wild. I ended up in a first memorial, and I started, I'm looking at the names. There's a Ross, there's a Wesley. Went to some of my relatives in 1914. And I phoned back home and I asked what else my youngest. He said, do you know these guys? Yes, he said, that's my brother, that's your uncle, that's the older guy, that's your grandfather. I didn't know. I knew so many wallpapers when I was standing looking at these names, and it's a statue here. You see World War II Memorial? You see it. It's tough. And it's full of Canadian names. Canadian. It's something to see what made us recognize as Canadians, because we stood and fought and won as a Canadian. And I'm proud of that, and I'm part of my makeup. Second World War. My wife, his relatives, when the camera wasn't that big, she has more veterans on the statue than me. And that's just some of the things that we have in common. And I'm glad to say that with my wife, to let you guys know, if you have a war veteran, show the respect we have for this. Every November 11th, I cry. Because I will never see those people. It hurts. Because I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of their life as I missed lots. A lot of people, like my dad died in 1958, I missed. I grew up on my own. I have freedom. But I got to spend it here and there once in a while. But the mind is, thanks for listening to me. I hope I didn't bore you to death. You're still sitting up, they must be okay. Thank you.
This was very, very nice. In case you've forgotten, and I don't want anybody to forget, our 5 inductees this year, the 3rd class of the Manitoba Indigenous Sports Hall of Fame and Museum, Terry Fox, Carrie Buckberger, Carrie Goulet, Ida Sutherland, Norbert Ross. Please stand and be recognized one last time tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not funny, I have one other things to say, so I'm going to call on Mel Whitesell, the Executive Director of the Manitoba Aboriginal Sport and Recreation Council, to come up and say more than a few words. Mel?
Thank you very much, Scott. Wow, what a group we have. I feel very honored to be in the presence of so many people that have accomplished so much. I don't choke off easily. So I would just really like to thank you all for coming from all over the world to support the Indigenous youth and to celebrate. And I'd like to thank Carrera for planning this whole event with help from some of the staff. And I'd really like to thank Scott for doing a lot again and showing up, yeah. And between Scott and Carrera, book 3's half done. So you can expect that coming out soon. And I'd like to thank the board members that are here and our honored guests. And I hope to see you all again, and thank you very much.
I know you don't want to hear me anymore. I know you want to talk amongst yourselves. I will leave you with one last word. Kindness doesn't cost anything. So go out and be kind. Good night, everybody.